Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you all today? Well, I started where I started yesterday, back again at the Dalby Cafe. All day breakfast, lunches and snacks. It's an absolutely fabulous place. And if you're ever in Cliftonville, near Margate, I'd thoroughly recommend it. Food is great. And today, as you will see, I've already eaten the breakfast because everybody was saying after yesterday's broadcast, guess what, Ginge, is your breakfast not cold? Anyway, this morning, I was watching me weight this morning. I had scrambled egg on toast with a bit of black pudding, and there you go. So I've eaten now, so I have a bit of time. Anyway, I'm just going to switch the... Oh yeah, by the way, this might interest people in Greece as to the way things are being run at the moment over here. You'll notice that there are screens around the cafe. That is to keep social distancing. You'll notice that certain tables have also been marked with like big stick-on crosses. That's where people are not allowed to sit, again, to keep the social distancing going. And when you come in, you have to book in with the staff, your name and your telephone number. And also as well, you if you have the app, there's an app now on your phone and you can swipe the app. That saves you the hassle of doing that. But I think most people just prefer to give their name and number and obviously come in and then dine. So at the moment, yeah, very strict restrictions. You're not allowed, you must be wearing your mask when you are standing up and walking around. You can't take your mask off, only to sit down and eat. And as I'm doing now, technically I'm still eating because I've got a cup of tea in my hand. And yeah, so I'm going to quickly turn the around. There I am, you can see me, and my cup of tea, staying within the law. So much been going on since last night. Yesterday, can I say thank you on behalf of my mum for everybody that sent little messages and little hellos and shout outs to her yesterday when we did a little bit of a broadcast from the nursing home. She was very overwhelmed with the reaction, bless her. We sat singing Danny Boy with Daniel O'Donnell, and I know a video now that I've got to download for her of that for her to put onto a radio broadcast that I will do when I get back. So once again, thank you for that. My plans today are to go and see her, and then once I've seen her, I will then be moving my way up to London to go meet up with my son Michael, who's coming down from Leighton Buzzard on Luton, and spend the afternoon before going our way to the airport. Thank you to those people who sent me pictures of Crete Airport at the moment, which is underwater through flooding, through heavy rain. If you remember, before I left, I did actually say you're in for some bad weather in Greece, and obviously the weather was working its way over to Crete from us through the Peloponnese down into Crete, and it's obviously arrived with a vengeance. So I was quite shocked. I've never ever heard of an airport actually being flooded in Greece before. Heraklion is the airport that was affected, so I'm hoping anybody who's going down there for a holiday is going to get there today. So I've got a feeling there might be a delay on flights, but we will wait and see. What's been going on then? I've been looking at the Greek news while I've been away. Unfortunately, yesterday Greece has had an absolute mega spike in infections, 865 new cases, bringing the total now up to 27,334 since the pandemic started. They also had 6 deaths, which also raises it up now to 534 deaths in Greece since the pandemic started. This is a cause of concern at the moment. If you remember yesterday, the Tuesday's figures were saying that the age group that seemed to be affected at the moment was the ages of between 19 and 39, which hadn't been seen before, and this was raising some alarm. The pandemic seems to be now striking younger people as well as older, vulnerable people. What is interesting is that the Greek government has been doing more testing, and the testing figures are at the moment 1,588,713 PCR tests, and they've done 41,827 rapid tests, as they call them. At the moment, No word about false positives. So again, as I've always said, more testing means more cases being discovered, but nothing has been said. No, that's all right, love. You can take that away. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So basically, no word as to what false positives are like at the moment, and there was certain high percentages of false positives. However, because of the big increase at the moment, new restrictions have been placed in 2 locations. One of them is Kazania and Katastora. They've had restrictions put in on them, which will be coming in on Friday. Now, these restrictions are masks on at all times. People in those areas are not allowed to leave those areas either, so they're confined within those prefectures. They're not allowed to leave. Also, as well, everything closes. That includes all gatherings with people together. Also shops, gyms will close, the courts will close as well. Restaurants will shut, bars will shut, and also cinemas and museums. So this is looking like a total lockdown for those 2 locations in Greece, which are not very close to Zakynthos and not very close to Athens either. So at the moment they're keeping an eye on this. Could we see a full lockdown coming towards Greece from the British government? That's what we're worrying doesn't happen. That's in some ways, I'm kind of pleased that I am going today before Friday, when things could start to change. Also, as well, the authorities have been looking at the death rate with Greece as well. When you consider that in August, Greece had 60 deaths. In September, it had 125 deaths. And just in the first 3 weeks of October, Greece has seen 143 deaths. So again, the death rate is going up, and I always feel that those are the figures that we should be concentrating on more. Those figures are going up, and they are a cause of concern to the Greek authorities. Also, as well, last night I did phone Jane early this morning to get any confirmation on this, but Zakynthos had an earth tremor last night, which registered 5.3 on the Richter scale. Now, the actual epicenter for the earthquake was between Zakynthos and Straphadis, where the monastery is, which I covered in other blogs, which is at the moment going to be having 11 million euros spent on it to restore it and also reopen it to the public. So the island of Straphadis was between Zakynthos and Straphadis was where the epicenter was, and interestingly, within hours of that tremor, a gentleman by the name of Akris Teskakis, who's actually a seismologist, he actually posted onto his Facebook scan, on his Facebook page, comments about the actual earth tremor. He says that basically the earth tremor could actually be the herald to more seismic activity. However, it is too early at this stage to say that that earth tremor that was felt was the actual main one, and the minor tremors will then follow. You may remember we had a pretty hefty earth tremor or earthquake about, I think it was 2015, and that registered from Kefalonia. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on that. Jane says she felt nothing where she was, where we live in Makarado. Not sure if anybody else felt anything during the night. So if anybody's tuning in from Zakynthos and felt the earth tremor during the early hours of this morning, just pop it in the comments. I'll be curious to know. But the main thing is we've had it all this year. We've had plague, we've had fire, we've had hurricanes, and now we're finishing off the year from the looks of it with an earthquake. So can things get any worse? God knows. Also as well today, the saga that's been going on, it's a bit like EastEnders this. The Mayor Robbery case, appeal case, is starting again today. You might remember that the trial was halted a few days ago, just before I came away, because of a new witness who said that she'd been they tried to bribe her to change her testimony, and so the court was adjourned while they were basically wanting to check through past papers. Well, anyway, they're all back in court today. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. This case has caused quite a stir across Greece at the moment. For those people who are not aware of it, before the mayor was elected mayor, he built a lovely school up in the hills around Bolymez, and he was walking through the town with 500,000 euros in cash before he was jumped upon by two men. One of them was a former policeman. He was robbed of the 500,000 euros. Not only that, but the two men also robbed somebody else who was walking around with 18,000 euros. He said he was taking the money to the bank to put it in the bank because his house had been robbed just a few weeks before of 300,000 euros that he had buried in his garden. So again, obviously the case is causing a big stir. The defence for the two men is saying that the amount has been exaggerated. He's used the whole incident to political ends to further his political career in getting elected as the mayor of Zakynthos, which he wasn't at the time, and basically playing on the sympathies of the public to basically get himself elected as mayor. So anyway, the trial continues. I will keep my ear to the ground and see how that all pans out, because as you're probably aware, Zakynthos has a history of mayors and court cases, and I will stop my comments there before I land myself in any trouble. Anyway, on a sad note, can I just offer my sincerest condolences to the family of Simon Dobbo Dobbin, who passed away in the early hours of today. Simon, ex-RAF Reg gunner. I didn't actually personally know him, but the sad thing with Simon was that Simon was attending a football match, and on the way home from the football match he was jumped by some thugs, beaten very badly, that left him in a vegetative state for 5 years. He was on a ventilator. Obviously he had no awareness of where he was, in a very serious condition, and he just passed away in the early hours of this morning. I know a lot of regiment gunners at the moment are offering condolences onto his Facebook page, and can I offer my condolences to his mother and his family at this time for their loss. And Dobbo, bless you, mate. It's so sad, so sad. I'm not sure what happened to the men that did it, whether they were caught or anything else like that. But once again, we offer our sincerest condolences. Right, just quickly then, as I've already said, I'm off to London to see my son. I'm also popping around to see my mum for one last time at the moment. We'll wait and see how things pan out. And also, I'm also waiting for my PDF form from the Greek government to turn up. I've actually had a message from them to say they've received my application and they will be sending it to me before around about midnight, and I'm hoping it's going to be midnight Greek time, which means 10 o'clock your time, so I can make sure that I've got it on my phone, and also charge my phone up so my battery's not flat, so I can show it as on my phone before I fly back. But anyway, thank you once again to all those people tuning in. Can I say a big thank you to my brother my brother Simon, for all that he's been doing as well, and also my brother Martin as well, who's here in Herne Bay. And once again, I'll catch you later. You take care and have a great day wherever you are. All right? Ta-ra.